Hey guys, my name is Zediac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2, the Cuban edition. Where last episode we finally got Jamaica connected with its very own airport, which rounds us off pretty nicely right now with having every town in the game connected except one. And no, it's not this little island over here. We have an actual ferry going back and forth right now. And believe it or not, guys, it's doing kind of okay. We have one town connected. And that town is actually a separate country of the Bahamas. This is our final city that we need to get connected. And the Bahamas actually has some type of good that we could potentially use. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an airport in the Bahamas. We're going to create a harbor as well. And we're going to import-export goods to the Bahamas that we are producing. And at the same time, bring passengers to and from this tropical paradise. Now, we're doing pretty good, boys. Revenues are sky high right now. For the first time ever, we crossed over the $1 billion threshold in revenue, which is absolutely amazing right now. Things are going good and our industries are continuing to expand. But we can't stop there. We've got to keep pushing forward. So this is what we're going to do then. We're going to forget the airport for now. We're going to first focus on the harbor because I want to build a harbor over here in Cuba where we can start to import and export goods to the Bahamas. So whether that be fuel, and in this case, it will be food coming from Cuba. We can then bring the tropical fruit back because there's a couple of towns that do need it. There is Las Tunas. There is also Santiago over here that could kind of take it straight away. Any more? There's Moron just over there as well. So there's a couple of towns that could take the tropical fruit straight away. No questions asked. And we do have tropical fruit on Cuba itself that we could use. But because we're going to be taking food to the Bahamas, when the ship comes back, it's going to be losing money. So at least if it's bringing back the tropical fruit, it's making money both ways. So we're going to start then in the Bahamas and utilize this island for everything. Our harbor and eventually our airport. So let's get a road all set up that does connect to this. And let's bring you down. And let's go across. Now, I don't know whether it's going to be easy to connect the harbour to this. Or whether we need to kind of just make it up ourselves. Where's the ships? There's the ships. Cargo harbour. And do you know what? That would do just fine. Now, awkwardly, it'll be nice to kind of just slightly organize it a bit better. So I'm just going to drop it there. I'm probably going to have to delete all the road again. Hold on. Well, the game had a serious catch-up moment there, didn't it? Let's reconfigure all this. Because it could quite become it could be quite possible that this could become a busy harbour. Right, there we go. And we'll drop you there, just to get these first initially going across. And then we'll do one on each sticky out bit, get rid of the excess. And we're going to place these down before I do the landings. We've learnt that in the past. Just for decent road connections, and now we get the landings. So this might take a gazillion years right now for each landing to be processed. But we will get there, boys. There we go. Each one we put down takes a little bit longer to process its shipping routes. Right, 2 more. 1 more. We're almost there. Almost there. Boom. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Right, let's get this road then all set up. So we're going to run this across. A little bit wonky, but that's okay. Connects up to those 2 plantations. Perfect. Now, we're going to set up a little bit of a vehicle stop so we can then take the goods from here into the actual Bahamas. And I'm thinking that maybe it might be one too many. It still is. It still is. Right, I'm going to delete this bit. And it will now fit in, which I can now go a little bit wider. Very good, boys. Very good. Nice and simple, okay? Nice and simple. Now, what we'll do is we'll then run over a simplistic bridge. So I want to keep it super simple in the Bahamas. So let's bridge this up and over. What type of bridge should we utilize? I don't know if we're going to... Oh, hold on. There is something stopping me. There's actually something stopping the Bahamas from, like, expanding. There's like this... It's like I don't have a... There's like a wall here that I don't have the asset for. Which is kind of funny, isn't it? I didn't realize there was a perimeter around the Bahamas to stop it growing, which does make sense. Although somehow they managed to grow outside of it there, which is interesting. Anyway, boys. Will this now work? It will. So, bring that to about there. If I delete this back, and then we'll wiggle it in so it looks like it was made to be a part of this. Right. Nice and simple. The Bahamas expanded, baby. Okay, so that's all now set up then. We're good now to accept the goods, drop off the goods. We're not ready to place the goods in the town just yet, but I'll drop you here. So everything is set up for us to deliver whatever we bring over. Right, nice. So now I need to build a harbour over here that can accept transitioning the tropical fruit and the food over. So let's build an additional harbour now, and I'm going to build it around about here, and we're going to set this up in a way in which we can accept cargo goods via trains as well. So let's configure this. Let's just get rid of you, and let's just drop down a couple of landings real quick. Alright, there we go. We need 6, right? Yeah, I'll go one more just there. Just to make it a little bit more even. Right. Boom, boom. And then we're going to go across. So we're going to pretty much build the same setup that we did in the Bahamas. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. And let's just quickly now add in all the road connections. So just spam through this as much as I can. Right, one too many there, but that's all okay. And now we got to wait a gazillion years for each one of the landings to now get done. So 20 years later. So once I've got all these landings in, by the way, we then need to build a train station that connects to it, and that's where we transition the goods to and from the harbour, then to the cities, and of course the industries. You know how this works, boys. You know how this works right now. All right, bam, 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 bam. Beautiful. Only a short distance, so it should work out fairly well. Right, let's delete this road. That's now gone. We will then build a little street just there. And then coming off it, we're going to do a nice big end station for the cargo. So I'll make it long. I'll do 4 tracks just to give us a little bit of play. And I'm going to actually position it over on this side just solely because we can transition to a left and right turn on this train track a little bit easier. So if I now sort the rest of this out... Oh, that's not even high-speed train tracks. Oh, no. What a fool. Let me upgrade. I mean, it means nothing to us, but I'm going to get it in anyway just because. Right, let me find the center. So we'll utilize that as our kind of marker. We'll bring it out just a tad bit. Then go back to deleting it. And now I've got our central area for this cargo train station. So run these in like normal like that. And then we'll run these all the way in. And then we just hit them with a crisscross. And then we can access 4 platforms from the one line. Right, we're then going to transition onto this, and we've got to make sure that we're going in both directions. So I reckon I'm going to bring it to there, and then we'll do the rest of the magic from this. So if I picked here and bent all the way in, here and bent all the way in, here and bent all the way in, here and... Ooh, not bent all the way in. So something here doesn't like us doing this. Oh, okay. Just extend it a little bit longer, apparently. There we go. Right, so let's now redo all the signals. I'm going to redo them on this little strip. So we can allow them to get over to here. So you actually do not interact with the passenger line at all. But I'll set it all up as if it would. It does on this side, though. That's important. So that sets that up pretty okay. And then that would go there. And then that one would go there. So that's, in reality, all we need to do. It's quite simple. It is quite a simple system. So that transitions the cargo onto the cargo main line in the center. And then we're all good. We should then be all good. It can go in both directions. Voila! Voila, boys. Voila. So, what I'll do first then is we'll add our road depot on over here. So, get the road depot in. I'll pull it on this side. There we go. And I'm going to create a route that literally just picks up and drops off. I'll buy one vehicle that can carry all types of goods. So all cargo will go with you because you carry more. And I'll just put it on that line. Yes, I know I haven't given it a name. What is the name of that line? What is that line? Because I can't see. Wait, hold on. That's really weird because I can't see it going across the bridge. It blends in a little bit too well. So that has that vehicle now going back and forth. So as soon as I set up the shipping routes, it will instantly start delivering the cargo. Now, it needs fuel, it needs food. Now, we can technically get fuel from the USA, so it might be a case of they trade with the USA. Unless I brought the food down to here, then took it back with the ship, because I might be able to bring different goods back and forth there. That could be interesting. Now, what are the issues over here? There is a fueling issue that... I mean, we could do fuel. Anybody else require fuel over here? Yes, quite a few cities. And when I say quite a few, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Right, we're going to bring fuel back and forth, which will then be transitioned to go over to the Bahamas. So, another new line. And we'll go there to there. There we go. And I'll make it be orange for fuel. And we'll allow it to pick all the platforms, or all the docks, all whatever you want to call it. There we go. And does it need to line up? It doesn't need to line up in any particular fashion to enter the port, so that's okay. Right, that's going to bring the fuel back and forth, which we can also then distribute to other Cuban cities. And then what that means is we're then making the US pay the Cuban tariff before we ship it to the Bahamas. That's what we can kind of say in our head, can't we? Yeah, that's what we can kind of say. Right, okay. Now, my closest shipping harbour is over there, so we're going to put one over on this side. And we will get the shipyard set up, so we'll just drop it there. Now, we need to set up, before I can do the ships, all the train lines that are going to deliver the goods, okay? So let me first rename this line, because I am starting to slowly forget about renaming lines. So we're going to call this Cuba to USA 2, is what I'm going to call it, because we already have one that does it anyway. And I know that this port will eventually have fuel and tropical fruit. That's all we need to know right now. That's all we need to know. So if I set up a new line and I went from here, and let's just say the first one I went to was over here is in Cam. which is going to deliver fuel. What's the issue here? Apparently we have an issue. Oh, did I select the passenger side? Yeah, I selected the passenger side. And make that orange for fuel. No, it's still an issue. What's the issue here? Does something not transition right? So I can go there, and I should be able to bring it onto here at least. But there's a problem with bringing it into the cargo. Huh? I don't know. And then back to cam, which obviously would go here. I don't need to kind of tell it what it needs to do. But I've kind of had to tell it what it needs to do. So we're on south. It can use all the stations there. That one here, I'll get it to utilize the other side. Just so it's separate from the existing train that does stop there. So this line is the Cam... Hang on, I'm spelling it the wrong way around. Cam... fuel. Noise. Right, we've got the first one set up. So that's a fuel line. Now we'll do another new line. And we'll go from there to Las Tunas. And this will be our tropical fruit line. So get them to utilize all the stops in the south section. It should, I don't need to tell it what it needs to be on, but I might need to tell it how to bypass here. Because we don't have the bypassing tracks set up just yet on this station. So if I did that there and then did that there, that's all I should need to add you onto there. And then coming back this way. So that's the... No. Yeah, no, I got it right. There, and then you go this way. Ah, okay. I just realized I do need to do these ones. Because they don't technically... Yeah, I don't want them to run on the passenger section. And that does the magic. So we get the bypass and don't interact with the passenger line as much as possible. So it's the only one coming in here, which is okay. So we're going to call this Las Tunas Fruit. Right. I've set up one of each. So at least straight away, we can bring the goods over. Then I'll just slowly add on to the harbour more and more stuff. Now, we need to obviously bring the food as well. And so, okay, what we'll do, we'll break it down slowly. We'll buy our ship first. So cargo. And a part of me really wants to do this ship, but it's so expensive. But it has 1,252 capacity. But we're just not taking that much goods. It's also a very, very expensive ship. Right. Fuel will be this one. So I'm going to buy 10 of these and put them on the Cuba line 2. There we go. Right. Now I've got to buy another one. Now it's a shame because we don't have a ship that does all cargo. Or at least I think we don't. It's either one or the other. So we need to do... I'll do 2. No, I'll do 1 of you and 1 of you and put this on the... Oh, I didn't do the Bahamas line, did I? No. Right, let me set up the Bahamas line. Now, I want to make this yellow because we are doing tropical fruit. All of the docks. There we go. And this is the Cuba to the Bahamas, baby. There we go. Right, that's now all set up. So the ships on this can now sail. But, again, I don't have the train set up for them 2 lines. So where's the best one? We can actually take it from... we're going to need quite a few, so I'm going to create a new train depot. So if I just positioned it like this, and then just got this track to run like this, I'm hoping with the double slips on all of them, it can then pretty much choose which one it needs to be on. Right. We'll set up then a fuel train. So we'll go diesel, pick you, cargo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Buy ya. And you're going on the... It's the cam fuel line, isn't it? Yes. Do the same again. And this time we're carrying tropical fruit, which should be a boxcar. All right, get rid of all of this. And that's the Las Tunas fruit. So they're now all set up then. So we should start seeing fruit spawning over here. These numbers will now start to increase, which way they are doing ever so slightly. Very good, boys. We'll fast forward anyway. Now, we need to bring food over, so the food's going back and forth to the Bahamas. And we need to bring that. We can actually bring it from over here. These aren't particularly filled to the brim, but they will need more grain. So, new line. And if I just go from there to there. Oh, it can't. I think because we don't have the turn implemented here, do we? No. Right, if I put you in there. And put you in there. And just sort out some signals. Which I'll get rid of that one. And that one. And just get rid of that one. That should then work, right? Right, let me make this the goldy color. So, obviously it goes through here. It bypasses, so we don't need to... Nothing's stopping here at the moment, so I'm not going to worry too much. Coming round... Nothing stopping here, so we're just going straight through the station. Las Tunas, we do have something stopping here, so we need to then technically sort this out. I might as well do it on the other station, just to make good practice. Now, I think we only need to do the one. I'm not too sure. So if I add station to go there... It automatically does it for me anyway. So only really need to do the one. Only on those stations anyway. These ones are a different story because these are designed differently. And then coming back, because we eventually fine-tuned a better station system, which is more effective. Alright, there we go. So I don't need to do anything there. Just bypassing there. Good stuff. So utilize all of these stops in the Moron South. Do we utilize all the stops there? Well, we can. I will. We can and I will. And then we'll buy a new train now. There is a problem with that industry, though. There's not enough grain coming into it. So if I... And I think it's also a different type of carriage anyway. So we might need to run a separate secondary type of train on the same line. Now that is going to be our... Did I give it a name? I don't think I did. So we're line whatever at the minute. Now, in theory, we could bring grain back, but there's only one farm over there. And that's not going to be good for us. We're starting to build up a little bit of fuel right now in the Cuba USA 2. So that would increase. Yeah, I'm about to say that should level up and then start producing more fuel. But more grain. Is there any grain nearby? We don't, but it can take sugar. Which there is some sugar over here. I'm wondering if there's anything on like a coastal route that maybe we can ship over. There's a little bit of sugar over there. Yeah, we're going to have to make it deliver more. Now, I'm wondering where we could potentially bring that from, just for, like, ease. Because these are struggling for the good stuff. So where makes sense? There's a little bit over there I can utilize. That's a long shipping path, isn't it? And it would be quite infrequent. We are fully utilizing it over there. There's a lot of stuff here, isn't there? Right, okay. Okay. There's just there, of course. And just there. There's some there. It's all awkwardly placed around. We've got this down here. I could actually drive in some stuff just to be a bit more easy. Why not I do that then as well? So, we'll get a truck stop here. And then we'll make it super long so we can potentially have a lot of goods on the platform. Right, there we go. And then a truck unload stop. Want it to unload on both. And then we just need to create the connection. Now, granted, they got to drive through the town, and granted, it's going to have to stop and start. It's not perfect. But at least it's something. Okay, at least it is something right now. So vehicle depot is a little bit too far away. So what I'll just kind of place... I'm going to place it over here, so the time they drive down, there's a lot of stuff on the platform ready to be picked up. And we're taking and we're carrying sugar, which these are perfect at 38 capacity. And we'll do 10 of them. And it's another line that I've not given a name. Right. Extra sugar can now be delivered. Good stuff. So what are we now theoretically missing? What are we now theoretically missing? So I've got the ships going back and forth to the Bahamas now. And they will obviously transport goods. But they're heavily reliant on food being delivered over here, which is that the train? No, that is a fuel train, which hasn't got any fuel at the moment. Las Tunas fruit. Of course, of course, of course. So where is the train? And it will be line 12 here. Where is this train right now? It is on the way back to pick up for the first time. Okay, so that's going to pick up the food, deliver it there, which the food ship will deliver. Good stuff. Now, at the same time, though, we should be having the one ship, this one, delivering fruit, which it is. So fruit's coming back for the first time. So fuel is coming over from the USA, but we've got to wait for these ships to be nicely spaced out. And that's what we're going to have to wait for. So this will become quite a busy port now. That would have increased upper level, so it would now be demanding a little bit more. Which the fuel is being produced from over here, which I think this is already maxed out, right? Yeah. There's quite a decent amount of fuel on the platform over here, but it's 200 left, and each train is 200 capacity, so that will go pick up beautifully. So I don't know whether it's a case of just getting the fuel ships and maybe adding, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll add 5 more just to increase the frequency of the ships arriving. All right, give that a second to update. Takes a while at this point because they've got to reroute themselves. But other than that, we have fruit ready to be picked up. And that train is about to pick up for the first time. Very good. Now, it won't bring more fruit over until we've got more cities wanting the fruit. So there will be a kind of like a little bit of a limit there. So now we've got that in place, we could in theory start to add more to it. Now, Las Tunas, while it is delivering fruit, it weirdly will also deliver food that will get brought over. Now, the reason it will get the food delivered is because this is going to take it up to then bring it back. So Las Tunas also becomes a consumer, which is why it's super important that we are getting all of this sugar then delivered. Oh, that's pretty good then. So yes, let's now get Santiago on that list. So new line. So there to there. It's going to deliver the fruit. Now, for some reason, it's not possible, but we'll make it possible. So all the platforms. Very good, very good. We want it to run through here and here. It then runs through here, runs through here, and then on the way down, it makes its way into the Cuba port, which I don't know if it's on the right side. Now it is. And then on the way back, which it goes up to here, we bypass. And then this is the old school station, so we got to do both on this one. And it stays in the middle of the cargo run. So in the Cuba one, we get to use both sides there. And this is, of course, Santiago fruit. But it will bring back food, because that's what it's going to do in the line over there. That makes sense. So let's buy the train for it. Diesel, buy you, cargo, boxcars, 100 capacity, bam, bam, bam. Santiago, fruits, bam, done. So that gives us straight away another consumer, right, for the fruit plantations over here. So at the minute then, the only ship really making money is the fruit ship, as it sails back and forth. We've got to wait for that fuel one to do it, but the boats are on the way back for the first time. So give them time and they will eventually all be spaced out. So we're not getting enough refined oil delivered, so I wonder if it might be a good idea to try and see, because we have this here, if I can deliver oil here, I can refine it to take it back to produce more fuel. Now, are these maxed out? No. So in reality, all I've got to do is get it to connect to this building. And then we are producing additional fuel and making our oil ships make money in both directions. So let me build a big building there. I'll build a couple because obviously we're going to be like placing a lot of product on this. So weirdly, this has become a happy accident. Right, that there now all of a sudden means that that will now start demanding oil. Now I could deliver it from down there, but we're going to do it on these ships, we should then see these start to creep up. Because there's now a new consumer that's entered the market. Right. This will take a while for it to realize it can do this. But the problem is, it drops off at the train station. It doesn't quite drop off here. So what I might do, I might just actually technically replace it. Now, I'm not cheating, right? If I was to replace a station or to redo a city, I would delete it and pull it back in. I'm not adding an industry. I'm just repositioning an industry, if that makes sense. So, industry, reposition it. It's an oil refinery. Wait, we can make bombs? Oh my goodness me. Oil refinery, that's what we need. That is what we need. So connect you up. I just repositioned it for a better connection. So the harbour now touches it. Right, now, what's it called, by the way? It's called the Maron Oil Refinery. So these should have a consumer of the Maron Oil Refinery. So now, right, we're making money in both directions on these oil ships. So I might make you... You've got nothing on board, so turn around. You've got nothing on board, so turn around. And then, do you have anything on board? You have a little bit. You have a little bit. I'm going to wait for you. You know what? You turn around now as well. So we're trying to split the difference ever so slightly. But we might need more ships. We still might need a few more ships. So if I managed a vehicle right now and selected 3 of them and then duplicated. So they will pull out now and head in that direction. It's going to be quite a busy route, this. It's going to be a real busy route. Right, this is actually kind of exciting. Now, is there any way in which I can make this shipping route be a bit more smoother? I don't think there is. I don't think there is. So we're now starting to get crude oil on the platform. It's what we like to see. And these will eventually level up as they've got now more consumers involved. But you got to give that time for it to kind of flourish. Right. Nice. It's nice to include Cuba in the supply chain because it just means more tax revenue for us. Right, with that all done then. With that now all done, have we had a food delivery happen yet? Yes. Food is now being transported for the first time into the Bahamas. So I think then it's all now gearing us up beautifully to accept a few planes. So passenger airport. Oh, hang on. Where did that go? Right, spin you right round. We're going to build it like this on a diagonal. So the flight path doesn't affect the island too much. Now we need the flatten tool to increase, and then we're going to do some reclaiming. All right, come on, game. We'll go to here. Bring that down just there. What else is then needed? Okay, that actually works out pretty well. It's just that back end of it just here. I think that's all that was needed there. So if I just fine tune that ever so slightly. No, it's just a little bit more is needed over here. And I think that then is done. Right, and what we'll do is I'll smoothie into the island so it's all sand. So it feels like nothing changed. It feels like nothing changed, boys. Right, let's get that road now connecting. Nice and simple. And then we'll create a simplistic bus route to load and unload the passengers. So coming in this way, we'll go around the island. We'll do it like that, just to kind of catch people. And then create a new line. Bam. There we go. Make it pink so it stands out. Oh, I missed a line. So after number 1, we go there. Oh, we missed. How many have I missed here? So 4. That becomes 5, 6, 7. Okay, there we go. Right, it's just very simple, very basic. Nothing too crazy. And I'll go with the streetcar, this one here. I'll only do 1. See how we get on. Again, another line that I've not named. This is getting a bit out of hand now, isn't it? And then we'll do our line for our planes then. All the way to our airport here. Which, make it pink. It's gonna be... I think it's already set itself up nicely. So we've got a terminal for each country. So we've got Mexico, USA, Bahamas, Jamaica, Haiti. Nice. Right. I'll buy 1 plane to begin with. And see how we get on. So what's the flight path like in the Bahamas? Okay. Right. Oh, okay. It does fly over the Bahamas, this city, but it's already at its cruising altitude, so that will not create any emissions. Perfect. I mean, I could flip it round, but it doesn't really matter. If it's already at the cruising altitude, it's fine. Right, that's now all in place. So it's just a case of it's now the waiting game. It is now the waiting game, boys, for stuff to circulate. Go round and round the merry-go-round. It should be pretty good. It should be pretty good. So we're just waiting for ships to collect. So that one's collected now. A bit of fuel, a bit of oil, refined. So that means... What that means is we'll be getting more oil delivered to keep producing more fuel. Which benefits everybody. But I might need to add a few extra buildings. So add 200 on each one. Did that place itself in? What's going on? Right, that takes a while to add a building in, doesn't it? I've added an extra 400 capacity to the building. But we did get more ships, so they should be arriving more frequently. At the same time as well. They should be arriving more frequently. What a busy shipping lane here. What a busy shipping route, boys. Right. Right. Now, we have a lot of goods on this platform. The Havana Machines line. Looking like we could do with a 4th train. There we go. I think it's more the fuel on that, but that 4th train will help out. Busy. Looking very busy right now. Okay. So that gears us up pretty nice. Okay. Now, there's still a few more towns that we do need to deliver. There is still a few more towns, but I'm just waiting for everything to cycle just nicely. Are we now delivering to the airport? We are. Very good. It's all systems go in the Bahamas. So the town's going to go for a big growth spurt now as well. So while that goes for its growth spurt, let's see if we can add a few additional towns on this. So we could deliver food and fuel over here. That's not too bad. We'll make this orange and... we need to make it be able to bypass all of the areas. So, bam, bam. These ones are easy. Bam. And we're coming here anyway, so it just stops there. So on the way back, we just hit up the 1. But on this station, it is both. You can just about squeeze in. Very good. Very good. So that's delivering fuel and food. So that's a double whammy on the old train there. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we'll do 3 of each. We'll do 3 of each. So that'll be on line 16 that I'm still not renaming. What's going on, Seniac? You need to rename these lines. And then we have fuel, food, and, guys, tropical fruit coming into May over there. That's interesting. So another new line. There to there. Utilize all them stops there. We'll make it yellow, this one. So, got to run through all these again. But it saves our bacon. That's all good. And on the way back. Ding, ding. Right, get right in. There we go. Saves the passengers from tripping over themselves. So because we're delivering more of the boxcar stuff, we'll add in a little bit extra on that. So we'll do 1, 2, 3 on these, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll just do 5. I can't see it being any more than that. And that's line 17. Right, another city now thrown on, demanding even more goods. Now what's awkward is all the food that's being delivered is coming from over here. It's having to go all the way up to come back down again. So, bit of a pain. Bit of a pain. Right, let's add in some cargo buildings on this, just to increase the capacity. And then we'll look at the scope of the trains then. So line 12 is what's going all the way over to here. I'm first going to edit the train to be a 200 capacity. And then I'm going to duplicate the train. So we've got 2 on the go. Now, they are getting more of the sugar. Now, time has passed by. It's a case of we need, oh, not configure, more road vehicles. So I'm going to duplicate and then duplicate again. So I've added, it had 10 vehicles. It's now going to have 30 vehicles. Consistently dropping off. Right, that will make it super busy. Right, that's never a good idea with that, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world just yet. Okay. So you're yet to produce anything. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to manage the vehicle, the boats here, and add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then bring them out now, while there's a little bit of a gap. Right, this is good. I'm going to wait for the game to update now to realise what's going on. The Miami cigars. Is this a good moneymaker? I think it is. We'll add 1, 2, 3, 4 more trucks on that. Just so we can pick up a few more. Waiting for the demands of those oil levels to increase. We've got all these platforms, but we need them to upgrade. So what I need is, I need this to upgrade a few levels. I mean, I can technically, what I could do is configure it. Put it at production level 4. Now, it will degrade itself, but it would make these produce a bit more. So we can keep consistently delivering the fuel. So we're just kind of slightly artificially giving it a boost. Right. Bahamas. How are you growing right now? You are going to skyrocket. Now, they are limited to land. They have had some fuel and some food being delivered. So that's a good sign. It's just because there's a lot of moving parts in this supply chain, it's going to take a while for us to see the revenue coming in. It is going to take a while. But we will get there. Ultimately, we will get there. Now, do you think it might be worthwhile splitting some of this if we're going to start seeing large numbers of vehicles arriving? I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. We are dropping off like crazy. And they will be picking up like crazy, but it's just a case of playing the waiting game. That's literally all we can do here. That is all we can do. Is that? Yeah, I'd say, is that not connected? It is connected. There's a lot of people here now walking into the airport. I think that plane not long just left then. Okay, hasn't really dropped off a large bulk of people yet. Now, I'm concerned about this airport over here, and what I'm concerned about is the train. Because, no, okay, we're okay. I was concerned about we didn't have enough capacity, but the train's okay. Finances are pretty solid. Right, nothing to worry about at this moment in time. Nothing to worry about, boys. Right. So all of these lines I've created in this episode so far are going to struggle to make money. They are going to struggle to make money for the longest time because you need time to pass by. That's all we can do at this moment. Is wait for time. Right, we're all okay there. I'm going to assume this bus route is not profitable yet. A lot of people waiting there. There's no point adding a second vehicle. It's just the initial wave of people wanting to be moved. We must give them more time. Give them more time. But I know my one big issue is these guys over here getting enough goods. Now, I did add that additional train on, by the way. Which I think is now just filled up. Are these consistently getting the goods? Yeah. So with the constant stopping and starting here, we'll hopefully space them out nicer. And I think we need to sort this out as well. We'll do an overpass. Just to alleviate the pressures. Right, how low can we go? Right, alleviate all the pressures. And have consistent flow of vehicles. The connection's a bit awkward. But it shouldn't matter too much. All the vehicles that need to be updated. And we're back in business, baby. We're back in business. So we shouldn't have the vast amounts of vehicles on these junctions as we now currently do. It's because the consistent stopping and starting does slow us all down. But I think I also will alternatively look towards building a road here that I'm going to artificially make a problem. So it's less vehicles using this for my trucks to just speed on through. Because that would be a quicker route between the two cities. So we'll see how that plays out for us. We shall see. We shall see, boys. We shall see. Anyway, I'm not too bothered about it. It's getting consistent deliveries, so it will be consistently keep producing. Right. So, time will tell with this new port and this whole Bahama expansion. Time will tell. We need these ships to keep delivering like they are. We might need to expand this port in the USA a little bit more so we can accommodate more ships loading and unloading at once. That might need to be a thing. We probably need more trucks over here as well. So I might literally just duplicate the 24 that's there now. It's a big thing to do. A real big thing to do right there. And we're going to have to completely redo all this vehicle run stuff as well. We might need to add a secondary one on this side so we can split the difference a bit better. Or at least have a separate one for whatever direction they're coming or going from. I think that's the key. That is going to be the key. Right, I think we'll end it for here, boys. I think we will end it here right now. Big, vast improvements, lots of moving parts, and a lot of money we're eventually going to make once it's all settled down. Expenses have increased because we've created a bunch of lines that are losing money. Profits are coming down because, again, we're now adding more moving parts to the system. But we will get there, boys. We will slowly get there once we've increased all these frequencies right now. It's a case of just adding more and more ships. We truly have created the shipping empire. Right, what's slack in here right now that could do with a little bit of a boost? It's just simple things like, you know, adding more carriages to stuff so they can just carry more goods in general. But we're getting there, boys. We're a $1 billion company. Well, we was until we've since recently dropped down, but we'll get back up there. We will get back up there. Now, officially, every city is connected. How is this going to grow the Bahamas? We shall see, boys. It's going to go skyrocket. I wonder if we'll see any skyscrapers, and I wonder if it'll fill every single little nook and cranny. Ooh, very exciting. They are also manually deleting the walls themselves, so they're going for the expansion. They truly are going for the expansion. Guys, we will end it here right now. I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, please smash the like button down below. And until next time, I will see you all soon. So, goodbye.